So what are the alternatives? If you're not looking to store data in a shapefile, where else can you store it with ArcGIS Pro? Well, when we look in the catalog pane and we right click on a folder, our new option gives us a couple of geodatabase types that we can create. There's a file geodatabase and a mobile geodatabase. The next presentation will explain about the structure of a geodatabase. If you're not too familiar about what a geodatabase exactly is, then I'll deal with that in the next presentation. But right now, we'll deal with what's the difference between the two types of geodatabase. Well, we've got a nice easy bit of text here to make it clear as exactly what the differences are. Well, a file geodatabase is stored as a series of files in a folder. So in the catalog pane, you would right click and say New File Geodatabase, and it would ask you to create the name of the file geodatabase, and it then creates a folder on disk where that is stored. But in the catalog pane, it presents that as a single file. It will say something like mygeodatabase.gdb, but on disk, it's actually creating a folder and storing the data as a series of files in that folder. A mobile geodatabase is an SQLite database. So it's not a series of files in a folder, it's basically a single file on disk. And that's why it's called mobile geodatabase, because it's portable. Very easy to copy that single file to other users, or maybe even put it into a cloud storage area so different people can access it and copy it off as and when they need to. So that's the main difference in terms of their structure. There is a big difference in terms of how much data they can store. A mobile geodatabase can store a maximum of 2 terabytes in total, which is a pretty sizable geodatabase, 2 terabytes. But if you need more storage space than that, then you'd need to use a file geodatabase. A file geodatabase can be up to 1 terabyte per dataset. So it's not a total size of the file geodatabase, it's the total size of each individual dataset. So you can have a layer of roads, for example, that's a terabyte. You can have a layer of railways, which is also a terabyte. So the total size of the file geodatabase can end up being a lot bigger than the 2 terabyte limit that a mobile geodatabase has. The other difference is the way in which the data is presented to you in the catalog pane or the catalog view. As I mentioned, a file geodatabase will be presented to you as a .gdb file, so something like mygeodatabase.gdb, whereas a mobile geodatabase will be presented to you as a .geodatabase file, so mydatabase.geodatabase would be the name of that file. So those are the big differences between them. You can make your choice as to which you want to use, whether you need that size limit or not, or whether you need to go beyond that size limit or not. If you need to be bigger than 2 terabytes, then you have to go for a file database. Otherwise, you can make your choice based on those differences that I've just outlined there.